Hello, everyone. This is John Jenkins again, and I wanted to do my obligatory yet still ironic Black Lives Matter video. And you know, everybody's been doing these Black Lives Matter videos on YouTube. And people are going out of their way and leaving their sphere of concentration, their sphere of influence in order to move into a different arena and discuss Black Lives Matter. And I haven't made a video about them yet, because I didn't really care. It seemed like just another. It seemed sort of like a Tookie Williams situation where you know the black population waits until you're on death row a year away from execution, and then all of a sudden they care so much about you, they want to see you successful while while you're literally, days away from getting executed for the crime you committed, you know, back whenever. Black Lives Matter seems sort of like that. It's just sort of that, you know, that it's just sort of that all these black women getting on camera talking about how hard it is for black men in this country when the majority of them will never marry a black man. Will never marry a black man. The majority of them will never marry a black man. The ones who do marry a black man will soon be uh, filing for divorce and applying for child support, alimony, cursing the name of their ex-husbands, you know, and not to get too negative, but using his child as a pawn against him. Hold on a second. Okay, there's a little insect flying around here. Anyway, using his child as a pawn against him. And so, Black Lives Matter can be safely ignored in that these people aren't going to ever exhibit any true determination to help black men. And that's demonstrable. These people will never do what if you gave them a list of all things that they had to do in order for them to help black men, they would not do it because it's not easy. It's not fun. It's not easy as getting into a man's face and yelling and screaming, "Do you believe that Black Lives Matter?" You know. Now, I'm an atheist. I believe in science, and science teaches us that no lives matter. Honestly, the expanse of space and the expanse of space and all the star systems, the distant stars do not care whether or not France exists, whether or not England exists, whether or not the United States exists. We are the only known planet to support life, at least in the form that we recognize life. We're the only planet known in existence to support life. Life is not the majority of existence. The majority of existence is not alive. We are not more important than any other form of existence. We are not more influential. We are not moving towards some sort of grand biblical goal. There, we are not. Our being here has not improved upon nature one bit. You know, in fact, we are using up natural resources or burning fossil fuels. So we are not this, you know, this panacea for existence. You know, living beings are not a panacea for existence. We are just observers, and our observance is inconsequential. You know, we are just patient, uh, disinterested observers in this world that we don't understand, and in this universe, in this galaxy that we don't understand. So uh, I would argue that, you know, there's two camps. The first say that Black Lives Matter. The second camp says that all lives matter. I would argue that no lives matter. We are not in charge of anything. We are not the majority. You know, uh, we we are not in control. We don't control the seasons. We don't control the orbits. We don't control mortality. We don't control birth. You know, in a sense that we cannot tell the cells when to multiply. We can block them. We can use birth control, but we cannot dictate how those cells uh, multiply. And we can utilize this natural we can utilize the natural inclination of those cells to our advantage, and we can do things like, uh, the like genetic engineering. We can do things like that, but those cells will still multiply on their own without our directing them. So, uh, but the point of this video is that, everybody's complaining about Black Lives Matter, but on both sides, for and against, I mean, I used to think uh, that I was that I was on some sort of high horse. I used to think that I was taking the high road by denouncing Black Lives Matter, claiming that I was, above them. But if you look at the reality situation, you look at, the way that Black Lives Matter is being treated, is that they have been heaped with uh, attention, money, free publicity, access to political events. I mean, they have just been given a reward after reward by our society, and like I said, as a black conservative, you often get caught in a trap where you're always trying to convince whites, no, I'm not like Black Lives Matter. I believe in you know fairness. I'm not like those I'm not like those black guys who robbed the liquor store, who twerk in public, uh, who smoke weed. Always the trap that you get caught in as a black conservative, always trying to you know you know beg and plead with the dominant society to see you as being different from uh, the majority of black people. But I mean, you got to look at it logically. How does society repay the attitudes of Black Lives Matter and by extension the attitudes of Michael Brown, Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin, uh, Oscar Grant? They, I mean, they heap all of their attention and their time and their money and free publicity on the Black Lives Matter crowd. And, they give Black Lives Matter the type of attention and publicity that, you know, black conservatives would die for. Um, I mean, tell me that Thomas Sowell and Walter Williams wouldn't want to have, you know, CNN and Fox and MSNBC and CBS and, all these different media outlets uh, doing live coverage of their speeches every night. Tell me that they wouldn't want to have, be able to walk up to the most popular presidential candidate and just take over his rally speech and just say whatever they want to without fear of reprisal. You know, imagine it. I mean, I can't. What black conservative would not want to be able to uh, say something, express themselves without fear of being, name called? What 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 black conservative wouldn't want to have political correctness working in their favor, where they could not be criticized or insulted or demeaned without that other person being called a racist and losing their job, you know? And so these Black Lives, we 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 like to criticize Black Lives Matter and pretend that we're taking the high road, but they're center stage right now. They're overnight celebrities, you know. Uh, they're getting the screen time, all the screen time. They're getting the screen time overnight that black conservatives have worked for I mean since the first blacks came to the United States. And the question uh, to ask is, why do whites in particular support Black Lives Matter so much more than they do black conservatives. And this is demonstrable. I mean, if you look at the average, white media outlet, I mean, regardless of what they say when they're talking about Black Lives Matter, the very fact that that the only black person they will discuss openly and give that free publicity to is Black Lives Matter. The fact that the only blacks they will mention are Black Lives Matter uh, is proof enough that they really actually approve of Black Lives Matter. They see them as uh, uh, an adversarial equal to themselves. So, the question is, why do whites support Black Lives Matter, the Eric Garner, Michael Brown Club, so much more? It's because I believe that whites trust the rabble rousers, the race hustlers more because they believe that if somebody basically they believe that you can trust somebody more if they are uh, you can trust somebody more if they are carnal. You can trust somebody more if they are dishonest because at least they're honest about being dishonest, you know. Or it could also be that, the fact that white people are not perfect and they cannot, you know, black conservatives are saying let's make it all free and clear, let's make it all fair. But whites are like, no, we're not angels. We are self-interested individuals as well. We have an agenda, and Black Lives Matter serves the white agenda. It keeps America segregated. It keeps black people poor. It keeps, society constantly believing that whites are superior because of the way that because of the way that Black Lives Matter characterizes white people as being gods. Because I mean, you should listen to these Black Lives Matter. They say, a white man can just walk up to you and kill you at any time for any reason, and he won't even be arrested. The type of stuff that Black Lives Matter says about white people. I would be flattered if somebody said that about me. Uh, so Black Lives Matter fulfill the white agenda, which is why they get all the free publicity. And you know, so that's what I believe is just the reason why they get all the free media attention. And political candidates have to meet with them in private. Like, I've never seen Hillary Clinton having a special meeting with Thomas Sowell or Walter Williams or Larry Elder, or Bernie Sanders, or even the Republican candidates. Even Donald Trump is not meeting with Thomas Sowell and Walter Williams. At least not on camera. But that's what I wanted to talk about. So if you're a black conservative, just like 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 the Bible says, put money in thy purse. You know, if your goal is to be more of a pure, more of a if you want to be an equality seeker, if you want to be a seeker of freedom and justice, then double down on that. You know, don't go back and try to say, well, if I adopt if I have sort of like a black conservative message with a Black Lives Matter attitude, I can get more done. If I storm into the campus and if I storm into the campus at Dartmouth and start screaming affirmative action is racism, I might get, you know, some media attention, but but at the same time, it doesn't work that way for conservative issues. I mean, if you're spouting conservative issues, then you can really be punished, you know. So double down on your constitutionality. Double down on your fairness. Double down on uh, your educated, sophisticated discourse. You know, bank on the bank on the Constitution. Bank on the Bill of Rights. You know, and yeah, well, let me know what you think. If this is if you disagree or anything, let me know. And have a nice day. Bye.